This is a lot of work. That's all I got
Yep.
for today.
Y'all have no idea. Y'all have no idea.
A lot of
None.
freaking work. And I'm just like, okay, we can do this, Hector. We can do it. Poker face, poker face.
I believe it. I believe it. Hi.
All right.
And
then let's see here. I know the tube is like, where the hell are they? They know better. They know better by now.
And that is done. We are Gucci. I do have some interesting stories I was able to gather. Boy, oh boy.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. We have a lot to actually talk about today. So let's go ahead and get started over here on the
Make sure we're tapping the screen, y'all. Make sure we're tapping the screen. Let me turn off. Ooh, I always forget to do this. I'm glad I remembered. Let me turn off my alerts.
Thank you.
Noise interfering. And then I'm going to put...
do you see me cringe like every time I hear your Discord go off?
Yeah, but see, I don't know. So I have it now in streamer mode. And I will hear it when it's on, but I hope when I hear it, y'all don't hear it, just to make sure it's working.
Sometimes. But
okay, well, let me know if it dings it now, because it should be in there. I'm already exhausted. Aren't we all?
Already? My God. Okay. All right. You can hear me fine. I have what I need to have on over there. I need to just change something over here. And then we can get started on the tube. Hi, everyone. I hope you all are just doing all of the good things on both sides of the house. Make sure you're tapping the screen, you're reposting, sharing, knocking out the gift goals and everything. Just keeping this on the FYP, sending your daily heart me's. And the reason why is because this is different. This isn't the normal thing that we do. This is our show. We call it a show. Well, I call it a show. Hector said don't call it a show, but he can't tell me what to do because I do what I want.
No, I said don't call it a podcast.
Oh, you said don't call it a podcast?
Right.
Why can't I call it a podcast?
Like show. I don't like that word.
Oh, you don't want to be a nigga with a microphone.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, I get it. I wouldn't want to be that way anyway.
We got enough of those.
Hey, yo, bro, dude, something just happened and we're going to have to talk about it.
Oh, hell.
Yeah, but like, immediately. Like, this motherfucker here.
Can't catch no breaks with this fool.
On everything, bro. Like, seriously, yo. It's always something. Like, it never ends. It just never ends with him. I swear. Okay, I'm just updating something over on the studio, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, great. We got it. Good. Okay, let's get started on YouTube and get right into this news. All right.
Sick of this, man.
Did you get it?
I got something else.
Okay, one moment. All right. Awesome. And so we're live on the tube too. Fantastic. Okay, welcome in everyone. Welcome in. I am Erica Shante over on the tube and on the Tiki Talks. All right. And thank you so much for joining us today for the Fun and Fact Show. All right. I am just a mom who has a passion for politics and just want to give you all of the news. And this is my amazing co-host,
Hector Talks. I am a political commentator who dropped out of homeschool, but my big mission is to get everyone the political literacy necessary to ensure that we have a better society. And damn it, I blanked.
It's okay.
Damn it, I blanked.
It's okay. Hey guys, I want to tell you all something. We didn't do dress rehearsal today.
We didn't
do dress rehearsal because my friend here is blowing up over on the IG. And he has some stuff he had to do. Okay. All right. So he's blowing up over there. So it's not his fault. Now this is a blessing. So if you are not following Hector Talks, it's the same way it is here over on TikTok and the same way it is over on the tube with 2 R's. So Hector Talks with 2 R's. All right. I need you to go on over there. All right. And make sure you're following him over on the IG. So make sure you do that. All right. Now, with that being said, this is the Fun and Facts Show. All right. I am the fun.
And I am the facts.
All right. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get this party started because I kid you not, as soon as right before hitting live, Bruh, more news. Trump has tacoed again. Tacoed, okay? He has chickened out again. He is not going to be charging tariffs on several of the EU countries that he said he would be,
That's what I
which
got.
isn't surprising because he always does stupid stuff like that. Right. So we want to bring that article up.
That is quite literally what I just had here too. That's
Yeah.
good.
What do you think, Hector?
Today, I think this is just typical Trump doing typical Trump things. This is why I don't understand when people use his tariffs as like this big like deal. So I'm like, this is only a game. He's going to chicken out. And then there's like, okay, they're going to bring some people to the bargaining table. I don't know. I don't think America needs more commitments. I'm tired of like, I don't like to be in relationship with people that say, hey, I got you next week. I'll do better, baby. No, I want like results, right?
Yeah, like
Something solid.
consistency, bro. That's all that's needed is
Exactly.
consistency. Can we get some? we don't
Exactly what they're lacking.
yeah. We never get any consistency with this administration is typically just always some kind of change and that's like unexpected. We can never count on them to do what they're supposed to do. We never know what's gonna happen. I hate living like that. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a creature of habit. And I don't like I like spontaneity, like, "Hey, let's go on a road trip." All right? I don't like spontaneity and like, "Hey, we might be at war next week," or "Hey, new war today." I don't like it. I don't want it. But let's watch this here, and then we'll want to see what this is because we're
It's the
learning about
United
this as you
States
are.
alone that can protect this giant mass of land, this giant piece of ice, develop it and improve it and make it so that it's good for Europe and safe for Europe and good for us. And that's the reason I'm seeking immediate negotiations to once again discuss the acquisition of Greenland by the United States, just as we have acquired many other territories throughout our history, as many of the European nations have. They've acquired, there's nothing wrong with it. But this would not be a threat to NATO. This would greatly enhance the security of the entire alliance, the NATO alliance. The United States is treated very unfairly by NATO. I want to tell you that. We never asked for anything, and we never got anything. We probably won't get anything unless I decide to use excessive strength and force where we would be, frankly, unstoppable. But I won't do that. Okay? Now everyone's saying, oh, good. That's probably the biggest statement I made because people thought I would use force. I don't have to use force. I don't want to use force. I won't use force. All the United States is asking for is a place called Greenland, where we already had it as a trustee, but respectfully returned it back to Denmark not long ago after we defeated the Germans, the Japanese, the Italians, and others in World War II. We gave it back to them. We were a powerful force then, but we are a much more powerful force now.
Wake up. Where the hell has everybody been? Stop.
Oh yeah, and yeah, okay, so that was a lot. So that clip actually was him talking about how he will not use military force on Greenland. So that's also something that happened this morning. He's in Davos, Switzerland at the World Economic Forum. We was hoping that he wouldn't make it. Do not share this clip with anyone. All right, we were hoping that he wouldn't make it. You know, the Air Force One had mechanical issues. Not you screenshotting. But he made it. So here we are. We all got hopeful for just a moment. We were like, oh my God, could this be it? Oh, no, it's not it. But with that being said, y'all, yeah, like he's not using military force on Greenland. He's ruled it out. So I don't know with him. Do you think he's a man of his word? No.
Does Dolly Parton sleep on her back?
Damn. Yes. She has to sleep on her
back.
The
opposite of that.
Oh, okay. See, what she has to sleep on her back. Have you seen those things?
Yeah.
Why'd you ask that?
Reverse.
You should have said,
I'm
"Do pigs
extra.
fly?"
See, that wouldn't have been as fun. I like to keep y'all on your loop.
Oh, okay. Got it.
On your loop. Oh my God.
What just happened?
I just said it wrong. I got it now.
Oh, you understood what you said?
I said keep it on the loop instead of toes.
Yeah, I heard that part. I was gonna let it slide because maybe you were trying something new, and I was like, maybe he's doing something new. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
You just be saying stuff, bro. You just be saying stuff. Anywho, with that being said, got to keep you on your loop. Um,
Not you egging it on.
watch the latest video, the clip. You did the same thing to me. Um, what
Oh,
happened?
it's
What had
revenge.
happened? Oh, okay. And also, yes. So no military action in Greenland. Also, we aren't charging tariffs. I do want to actually read about that. Do you want to bring the story up, Hector? Since I played the video, but the video was
The EU
irrelevant.
tariffs.
Yeah. So we want to bring that up. And then also the thing with Gavin Newsom, he was supposed to speak at the forum also, but his speech was canceled, and he thinks that the State Department has something to do with it. Maybe little Marco was like, "Nah, Gavin, you shouldn't have posted that post about Trump and his small hands." No one
It's
talks about
just,
Daddy Trump and gets away with it.
when are we gonna get like real men back in the White House that aren't just gonna cry over stupid stuff like that? I'm trying to find
And they say
my
women
thing,
are
but
emotional.
I'm looking for my thing buster because the article I had a paywall.
Okay.
Take it here. Copy text.
But I think it's very interesting, especially with other stories that we have going on. It's a lot that's happening. I think Wednesday is the day for news.
Honestly, yeah.
Doesn't it feel
Because
that
we
way?
end up doing this thing where we'll come with our stories and then mid story we'll get another story and then we'll pivot out to that story. It's just like,
Boom, boom, boom.
I don't
It's
know
like,
what it is. It's every single Wednesday. It's a common thing that tends to happen.
yeah, they flood the zone on Wednesday for us.
Okay. My thingamajiggy isn't working.
Oh, okay. I can bring it up.
Thank you, please.
All right. So I have it from NATO. Erica, please. I have it from AP, guys. I have it from the AP. Now, this is a breaking story, so it's not like it's going to be a lot of information, but we do know that he was threatening to charge tariffs on 8 different EU countries, specifically the ones who did write the letter to him saying, hey, leave Greenland alone. If we remember that, I know that was France, Poland, Germany, and I feel like I know I'm forgetting Spain, I believe Portugal, and then also we had the UK involved too, but the UK is no longer a member of the EU. So let's see here. So it was 7 EU countries and the UK. So here we go. President Donald Trump said Wednesday he is dropping his threat to impose tariffs on several European countries, citing what he described as a new framework with NATO on Arctic security. The abrupt about face comes shortly after he told the World Economic Forum in Davos that the US would not use force to pursue control of Greenland. The Trump nonetheless, I can't read today, nonetheless reaffirmed his ambition to secure right, title, and ownership of the island in his speech and urged NATO allies not to stand in the way, warning that refusals would carry consequences for the alliance. What kind of consequences?
It's always with the threats.
Exactly. But at this point, I have a feeling that they're empty threats. It's weird. It's like you never know with this guy. It's just so weird. I have thoughts about this. He urged NATO to allow the US to take Greenland from Denmark and added an extraordinary warning saying alliance members can say yes and we'll be very appreciative, or you can say no and we will remember. This enormous unsecured island is actually part of North America, Trump said. That's our territory. There's the Don Road Doctrine. Trump also said that the US is booming, but Europe is not headed in the right direction. His ambitions to wrest control of Greenland from NATO ally Denmark threaten to tear apart relations with many of Washington's closest allies. Bruh.
It's nonstop. It's
Wait,
nonstop
that
with
was
this
me.
fool.
Hold on. I don't know what I just did. Oh, I know what I
Oh,
did.
Cameron.
I need to move this out of the way. Let's put that at the bottom. Okay. I'm not using the phone camera today, using a camera. But yeah, thoughts. Thoughts, Hector?
I think it's funny. One, we can't get any consistency with these trade deals, and then oftentimes what tends to happen in when we're talking to Trump supporters, they'll say, "Look at this deal that he made. Look at this deal that he made." And this is actually going to directly transition to my story now, where he made all these deals that we're supposed to praise him for, but he's so erratic that we don't know what he's going to do the next day, the next week, months afterwards to undo the progress that Trump supporters often cite in their own compliments to the Trump administration. For example, and let me pull up my thing here. Now we have the EU that pulled back on a key deal that the Trump administration has been bragging about for months. We've been having several meetings with the EU. They were talking about this deal, all the great things that it did. Then we had the coalition with them all working together to handle the Ukraine deal, the 20-point peace plan, which is still, who the hell knows what's happening? Who the hell knows what's happening with that plan? And then now what we have going here is that the EU said, we don't like how you're talking about Greenland and the slightest. So we're just going to go ahead and we're just going to annex that one. We're just going to cut that one off. And let me get this down here. I'm going to put it up on the screen so everyone can read. I think it'll be better up here. Let's do that. Can everyone read that clearly? I hope you guys can. So the EU suspends the approval of U.S. trade deal. The European Parliament has suspended the approval of a key U.S. deal agreed to in July in protest of Donald Trump's demand to take over Greenland. This was 3 hours ago. Mm-hmm. The suspension was announced in Strasbourg, France on Wednesday as the U.S. president addressed the World Economic Forum in Davos. We're going to see a lot of different news coming from this event in Davos. The move marked a fresh escalation in tensions between the U.S. and Europe as Trump continues to threaten tariffs against European countries in his bid to acquire Greenland, the one he's not going to take by force. Despite Trump ruling out the use of force to take control of the territory, the standoff has rattled financial markets, reviving talk of a trade war and the possibility of retaliation against the U.S. Friendly reminder, I think it was back in February when we had the initial reports of his talks about Greenland and Denmark, when he was asked point blank if he would use force to do what he wanted, he said it's an option. And I'm paraphrasing, but he alluded to it being the case. Pushback against from the rest of the world, the protest that we see gone out en masse over this past weekend, is now causing him to change his tune. But friendly reminder, with Trump, there is no necessarily changing a tune. It's just dialing it down to shut you guys up for a second until you forget about it. He distracts you with another piece of news, and then we're right back to the same nonsense. That's how this entire administration works.
Don't forget about the stock market.
Don't forget about the stock market.
He threatened tariffs yesterday. And what we saw the Dow was down by 870 points. The S&P was down by 2%, and NASDAQ dropped 2.4%. How do you think it's doing today?
Did it go 5? Or did I misread something?
Yeah. So far, all right, the Dow is up 770 points. NASDAQ is up, and so is the S&P. All are up. All are up. That's the thing. I'm so sorry to do this sidebar, but this is market manipulation at its finest. Literally market manipulation at its finest. And if I was a gambling person, I promise you I would put a whole bunch of money into it. But first, I'm going to need a sponsor. That's another story. We don't have to talk about that right now. Never mind.
Not the sponsor.
Yeah.
Did get a source here from Ari in regards to a Truth Social post that he made here. Based upon, well, fuck it. We'll do the accent.
Was that today?
The accent. Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Yes. Today's the 20. Yes.
Yeah, the 21st.
Based upon a very productive meeting that I've had with the Secretary General of NATO, shit. Erica, do you remember the bill that Republicans introduced into Congress that was NATO, but they changed the wording? What was it supposed to mean? I don't want to say it in the actual way. I'm trying to remember what it was. Mm-mm. See if you guys remember what I'm talking about. They put a bill into Congress that was for something of NATO, but they said the acronym doesn't mean what it meant. I'm trying to see.
The
what it was. It was like a mocking of
Shit,
it.
that today?
It was a mocking of it. No, this was a couple of days ago. I'll tell you what. I'll find it later. I'll find it later when we're done. But it was super stupid. It's basically what they do with
No.
everything else.
Okay.
Secretary General of NATO, Mark Rutte, because he's a Rutte, unless he works for me. We have formed the framework of a future deal with respect to Greenland, and in fact, the entire Arctic region. This solution, if consummated, because we have to consummate, we have to make this one. We have to make one. That's the problem with the Democrats. They do away with the consummation. Now everyone's gay.
Oh my God.
This solution, if consummated, will be a great one for the United States of America and all NATO nations. Based upon this understanding, I will not be imposing the tariffs that were scheduled to go into effect on February the 1st. Additional discussions are being held concerning the Golden Dome as it pertains to Greenland. We're going to get my dome. I promise you we're going to get that dome. I'm telling you right now. Further information will be made available as discussions progress. And by that, I just mean we'll figure it out as we go. Fuck around and find out, as the kids say. Vice President J.D. Vance, the one I said was incompetent. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the guy who used to hate me, now he sucks me off. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, who I used to take all the responsibility for the initial peace deal between Israel and Gaza, even though they're still blowing each other up. And various others, as needed, will be responsible for the negotiations. They will report directly to me because I'm the king. You guys don't like kings? No kings? I say, oh, the kings. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of shit America. All right, I'm done.
You know what, Hector? You know, this whole time while we were doing a breaking news story, we weren't live on the tube. Can I ask for you
Oh,
to handle the
shit.
tube from now on? I'm gonna ask you.
I
about
could
it.
probably get that going. I'm
Okay,
trying to.
you
The only
handle the
thing I would have
tube.
to
I can't
do.
continue to do this for fun and facts. It's killing me. Because
I have to figure it out. Yeah.
for some reason on this one, because I was wondering why I couldn't open Studio from OBS. I was like, why can't I open Studio? And then Taro
Mhm.
just text me, and I'm like, wait, why can't I open Studio from OBS? And for some reason or another, for this setup, how we have it here, I don't know why, I have to click go live. Whereas when I'm doing just my regular live, I can just start streaming and it'll go. I don't know why it's different, but yeah. All
Well, that's
right,
weird.
Erica, take a moment. But yeah, he's stupid. Also, those ad libs were friggin' fantastic. Just want to let you know that those were fantastic.
Every time I read one of his Truth Social posts in his voice, I lose brain cells. So I at least have to make it fun.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't find what it was that you were speaking of. I just found that on the 13th that Shaheen and Murkowski introduced legislation to prevent the Trump administration from threatening NATO unity. Yeah. So I just see that. That's it.
I'm
Like,
gonna pull it
it
up
was
here. I'm gonna pull
bipartisan.
it up here.
It's the
That's
NATO
stupid.
Unity Protection Act. And then Donald Trump also has the Board of Peace that he's trying to do, which is stupid. That's definitely going to basically threaten the partnership, the sanctity of NATO, which we'll definitely get into. Yes. Not
Sick of
smart.
this
Not
man.
smart at all.
Let's see. I know it was put into Congress. There was NATO Me, but this was way back since 2020, where he was trying to expand NATO into the Middle East, or he proposed expanding it to include the Middle East.
Yeah. So that's
Um,
what the Board of Peace is. He wants to include countries in the Middle East, and some have already signed on. Like they're already with it. That's one of the stories that I did want to talk about too. And it doesn't make sense. Simply because it literally is a direct threat to NATO. It's like member countries like Turkey and Hungary are already like, yeah, let's go for the Board of Peace. And so they're already like, where do we sign? Right. And yeah, so They've accepted the invitation. France, Norway, and Sweden haven't. They have basically said no, absolutely not. We're not going to do it. And another thing is the pay to play aspect of it. Have you heard about this border peace thing?
Mm-mm.
You haven't? Slipped right under the fucking radar, bro. I'm trying to remember how I heard about it. He
You said
mentioned
border peace?
board of peace.
Board of peace.
Yeah,
Okay.
board of peace. Yeah. So what he wants to do for pay to play is that he wants each country, if you give $1 billion, you're a member for life. You're a member for life. And basically, this mother, he is scamming people right in front of our faces, and people are like, "Yeah, let's do it." No, let's not. But and what the board of peace is basically is like NATO, is to resolve global conflicts, and the main focus is going to be the Gaza ceasefire, so bringing peace to Gaza. But the thing is that it hasn't talked about how to rebuild Gaza. So there's that.
It is always something. Really quickly, I did find it
You
here.
found it? Okay.
It's going to be HR 6508, the NATO Act. The Section 1. This act may be cited as the Not a Trusted Organization Act. That is what they introduced into Congress. Thomas Massie put this forward on the 9th of December. Not a trusted organization. The administration of fucking trolls, as people are starving and dying and losing their health care, we're here trolling in Congress. And money was put forward to introduce these stupid bills, mind you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So like the board of peace, what it says, and it's official charter, like the core declaration of it. All right, is that the board of peace is an international organization that seeks to promote stability, restore dependable and lawful governance, and secure enduring peace in areas affected or threatened by conflict, by departing from approaches and institutions that have too often failed. Because, Trump knows how to do everything correctly, right? You know that, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah, it's basically going to be the board of dictators is what it's going to be. Like Erdogan and what's the other guy's name? What's the guy's name from Hungary? Victor. I know his first name is Victor. Orban.
Yeah, I'm not going to remember that one.
Yeah. So the dude from Turkey and the dude from Hungary, of course, are on board. Of course they are. And and then we're going to get the Orban. Yep. So let me see here. And guess who's going to serve as the chairman?
Can I get a hint?
No, you don't need a hint. Just guess.
JD Vance.
Why would JD Vance serve as it?
That's why I asked for a hint. This is why I asked for a hint.
Why would JD Vance serve as it? Whose idea do you think this was? It starts with a T and ends in ump. Trump, bro. Trump. It's going to be Trump. He's going to serve as the chairman. All right. And Article 2 of this silly thing, all right, states that while like regular members will serve 3-year terms, and they're going to be subject to the chairman's renewal. So basically, right, if you don't pay this billion, all right, to be a permanent member, what ends up happening to you is that basically your membership after 3 years is up to Trump's discretion, as long as he's alive. So whoever the chairman is, it's up to their discretion to basically let you into the board or let you on the board. All right. Because standard members are going to pay like $20 million, but permanent members are going to pay $1 billion. So
this will be annually?
Huh? No, not annually. It's a one-time payment.
Okay.
Yeah. And guess what? Do you think that this $1 billion can be like in stocks and bonds or in land or anything of that nature? Or do you think it's going to have to be in cash?
Sounds like it may have to be in cash.
It's definitely going to be in cash. It has to be in cash. In cash. cash, Hector. $1 billion friggin' dollars in cash. Trump is about to run off with the bag. How are people getting food by this? This dude is going to be money laundering right in front of our faces.
Did you see that Netanyahu agreed to join after initially
Yes!
going meh?
Yes.
Netanyahu of all people
Yes.
on a board of peace.
Yes. And guess what? More. There's more. There's more. Do you think that a body such as this, right, where they have to deal with international relations and resolve conflicts and things of that nature, should have solely one party that can veto all decisions?
That's insane.
But guess what? It does. And
Which
guess
party are we
who?
talking about?
Guess who can veto all decisions?
Trump.
The chairman, yes. The chairman, yes. This dude really thinks that he's a mafia boss. I want everybody to understand that. Like, if you're listening, Donald J. Trump thinks he's John Gotti. He thinks he's Paul Castellano. All right. He thinks he is Lucky Luciano. All right. Like, what was the Sam's guy name? Not Sammy the Bull, but Genovese. He thinks he's him. This dude is off his rocker. Like, how are people falling for this?
If there's anyone who can do it, though, it's going to be Trump. I'm telling you right now, all these presidents never dared. And Trump decided to take it upon himself. And you libs are just always trying to knock a man, trying to make the country great.
Crazy work. Now, the next part of this is, I kid you not, is that they're claiming to be a legal personality. Okay. What that means is, all right, they have declared themselves to have an international legal personality. And that means that they can sign treaties, own property, and command security forces like the International Stabilization Force, independently of the United Nations.
I feel like there would have to be. I feel like there's a couple bodies that you'd have to go through to make said determination. Like, that's not something you can just execute on the world. But then again, this is the president of executive order, so why not try internationally? This is stupid. Stupid. This man is stupid.
Very much so. Very much so. So I'm not a huge fan of this site, but this is one of the places that you can find the full text of like the board, their declaration, their charter. It's available on the Times of Israel. That's where it's available. It's quite ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I honestly think that this is simply a money laundering scheme. This is a way for Donald Trump to basically collect money, his escape money, so he can take this money and run off either to what's going to be his private resort in what was once known as Palestine, or to run off to Argentina or Venezuela. Which one do you think he's going to go to?
I was literally just going to say, you got to make his bag for the escape route.
Yeah.
He's scared about midterms because Democrats are going to take back a lot of seats. We may even, it's a stretch, see a supermajority, in which case impeachment is for sure coming.
Yep.
We can see some more accountability for some of the literal crimes he's committed that Congress is just going back and forth on. The Supreme Court is leaning towards him on. So I personally think it's going to be Argentina.
You think it's gonna be? I don't know.
I think it's gonna be Argentina. I think he laid the groundwork a couple months ago with some of those deals. I think he's heavily improving his relations there.
I think, but that's the same place that the Nazis went after World War II. They were heavy in Argentina. For some reason, I don't think that he would try to go there because it would be expected for him and his cronies to go there. But I think for some reason, and I don't know why, with Machado giving him her Nobel Peace Prize, she was the one of the candidates in the Venezuela presidential election in 2024, and we all know that story. But with her doing that, for some reason or another, Hector, and this thing is acting up again. For some reason or another, I have this strange feeling that he's going to go to Venezuela because Delcy Rodriguez, she gives me ick vibes for some reason. I can't put my finger on it, but like I feel like the universe is telling me that she was the real bad guy, that she is the real bad guy. Like all this time they were looking at Maduro and it wasn't Maduro. Maduro was just trying to do socialism and was failing because of Western influence, imperialism, pretty much. Like they put sanctions and embargoes on their number one commodity. They couldn't do anything. So he couldn't use the proceeds from that commodity, that revenue, which was the oil, to basically service the people, as Chavez had done prior to the oil collapse in 2014 and the sanctions and all that jazz. So I don't know. I just feel like Delcy, bad guy. I feel like she's the one that's been, doing the shit behind the scenes. But that's a conspiracy, and I'm not allowed to talk about conspiracies in public. So what's going to happen is I got to talk about those later. All right, I'll talk to you in the back end.
I was going to say, wouldn't that be hilarious? Because you would already have set the precedent to have the U.S. go pick up anybody from anywhere, despite their status. So you then running to Venezuela as some type of safe haven. We can just use your own playbook and then scoop you up out of there too. But I don't know.
So I don't know.
Do you remember? I don't remember if we fully covered this or we somewhat went over it or just touched on it a little bit. Do you remember the story last week of the individuals in Minneapolis? One of the ICE officers pew-pewed him in the leg.
Yes. Yeah. An ICE agent pew-pewed the guy in the leg. It was an activist, a protester, or was it a? I thought it was. Go ahead.
I believe it was a protester here. Let me put up that story. He was just released today. So I was just reading up on it here. Again, I hope you guys can read all of that.
Also, we got more news.
Like immediate just now.
Davos has been evacuated.
Evacuated?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Didn't we have the plane turn around last night?
Yep.
When it was on their way there?
Yeah.
Did we ever get an explanation for that?
Yep.
Goodness gracious.
Yep. So we're going to have to talk about that. It's always something.
Yes. 2 men detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement appeared in federal court hearings Wednesday, including the Venezuelan national who was shot in the leg by ICE agents last week in North Minneapolis. The shooting last Wednesday led to a tense standoff between protesters and federal agents at the scene near North 6th Street and North 24th Avenue. Less than an hour before the shooting, Waltz gave a rare primetime address in which he called on Mr. Trump and Homeland Security Kristi Noem to end this occupation for federal immigration enforcement agents, which we already watched that. I think we played it. We may have played it on the show or one of our lives. Department of Homeland Security says multiple people were attacking the agents with shovels and brooms. Shovels and brooms in Minneapolis, where it's been snowing nonstop.
Matt,
but in federal...
Quick question. Yes. I'm so sorry. Did you ever see any video about this incident? I never saw video of it.
Nope, okay. Not one.
Yeah.
Not one. We're dealing with allegations again, just like the nonsense with Keith Porter. It's just their word versus the other ones.
Yeah.
But in federal court in St. Paul, a different story about what happened that night came forth. One that began with an ICE officer scanning the plates on Alfredo Alejandro Ahorna's car. This is the Venezuelan who got popped. He testified he was driving for DoorDash at the time. The ICE officer says the plates came back to another person who the officer believed was in the country illegally. I just want to emphasize this. The plates didn't come back saying this is this person's identity and this person does not have documentation. The assumption that this person was not a document was based off an ICE officer's belief. We can all summarize what those beliefs would be based off of. Accent, skin color. Supreme Court backed it. That's when the chase began. It's also when Alhorna called Julio Cesar Sosa Celis, who told him to come up to his apartment in North Minneapolis. That's where the officers say the chase stopped. I know there's a fancy Spanish way to pronounce this, guys. I can't speak it, okay? So bear with me. Alhona then ran from the car. That's when he says the officer chased him and the two struggled on the ground. Sosa Silas says he pulled Alhona away from the officer and they ran to the house. As they tried to shut the door, they say the officer fired at them from about 10 feet away. Sosa Silas was hit in the leg. So running into a building now warrants you pulling out a weapon and shooting at a person who you allege to be someone, but it wasn't confirmed based off of a license plate. The officer claimed that during the struggle, he was being hit by shovels and brooms, that of which we would have no footage or confirmation of. In court Wednesday, the FBI agent who testified about that night says many people were interviewed and no one was able to corroborate the officer's story that he was hit while on the ground. Both Alhona and Sosa Silas were granted conditional release, but the decision has been stayed until noon Thursday. They do have ICE detainers, so it's likely they will end up in ICE custody again, which I don't think is okay as far as I'm concerned. You got popped in the leg by an ICE agent. They don't have the proof of that you're not undocumented. No one can corroborate that you actually threatened this person's life. There's no reason to take them back in. But usual shenanigans from ICE. AKA the 2026 slave catchers. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
I agree with you.
Minnesota still being torn up with no intentions of letting up. I'm curious to see what the federal court has done about that. If you had any rulings to get them out, or rulings violated maybe straight up to get them out, I'm not sure. Roll your R's. I'm not good at that. Yeah. Nonsense, guys. Absolute nonsense. Mind you, we still have nothing from DHS specifically in regards to Renee Nicole Good being this following around ICE gang member, this person who didn't actually live in the area that they did. Nothing has been taking place on that regard. Chrissy Noem's just been repeating the same talking points. We haven't had any additional information or investigation shown. We still have not the slightest clue on what's taking place with her murderer, quite frankly, who Tom Homan allegedly says is in hiding. I guess I would be too.
I would be too. Also, especially with all of the varying reports that are coming out in regards to what actually happened after she was shot. So I mean, there's that. Was she killed instantly? Was she still breathing? Did she still have a pulse? It's a lot of different things that are coming out about it. But we're gonna have to wait and see.
Tired of waiting and seeing with these people. Absolutely tired of it. You do also have another thing here. ICE 8th Circuit gives ICE the go-ahead to use force against peaceful demonstrators, a decision which will immediately lead to injury. Ooh, what? Wait a minute. U.S. Appeals Court pauses lower court order restraining immigration agents' use of force against Minnesota protesters. Some protesters against U.S. President Donald Trump surges in immigration enforcement in the Minneapolis area sued his administration in December, saying their constitutional rights were being infringed. Last Friday, U.S. District Court District Judge Katie Menendez in Minnesota had ordered that U.S. immigration agents deployed en masse to Minneapolis to be temporarily restricted in using tear gas and other tactics against peaceful demonstrators and observers while the lawsuit proceeds. And that is what was halted. Okay, so they want blood.
Yes, very much so.
So we're just openly...
This is his proven ground.
Going... Yeah.
Yeah. That's all. This is his experiment, his testing. If he can get away with it here, then he can get away with it anywhere.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then I've been thinking heavily about what would I actually do? What would I actually do if I encounter an ICE agent in person? I hope to never find out.
I hope to
because
never find
boy,
out either.
I'm not gonna lie, these people piss me off, and I'm not I'm a risk averse person. I avoid conflict in any way, shape, or form. I see cops, I go the other way. Like, I just don't want any problems because at the end of the day, especially with certain demographics of people, they have the upper hand. It is what it is. But I don't know. I have a feeling if I saw one of those fuckers with a mask on doing some bullshit, I'd throw something at him, and then that would be the end of my damn life. So avoid ICE. Avoid ICE unless you're recording. One thing I did like about Tim Walz's speech or address to Minneapolis in the state of Minnesota, he said, make sure every time you see them, we are documenting every single thing. He emphasized recording this because there's going to come a time where we can take these people to court. There's going to come a time where we can get to suing them out the wazoo, and we're going to need as much information as possible. So I do like that message from him. Record literally everything.
Yeah, you do.
Literally everything.
You have to you do have to record everything. And I was thinking about that because there's been like murmurs in the streets here in Phoenix that ICE is supposed to come here. And they come here, then it's right outside the door. So I'm gonna be outside like recording and stuff like that. And I told my mom said, no, you can't go out there. What about your son? I'm like, well, I have to keep the people informed. So I have to keep people informed, and I know how to be safe. Like, I'm pretty risk adverse also. However, at the same time, I just believe in taking chances and then also just doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. All right. And I can't imagine just, if that is happening like literally right outside my door and not doing anything, then how the hell do I get to sit here and tell other people to do something? You know what I mean? So now I was like, I'm going to do something. I got to be out there and do something. So there's that.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. You can't, it's just hard to just sit back and not do anything. So yeah, that's how I look at it. But I am a full believer that like, you don't know what you're going to do until you're in that situation. So I know that I want to go out and do, the protesting and stand up to them. I know I want to do that. Yet in that very moment, do I know what I would do? Hell no. I don't. I don't know. I know me though. I got issues, Hector. So I got to work on my personality disorder. Got a smart mouth. I'm already tall. I'm already dark skinned. So like, I work on my smart mouth.
Tall, dark skin, and you got a mouth. You signing a damn death wish.
Put your pretty fucking much. Gotta chill out.
Death note.
So there's that. But yeah, I'm like, gotta take the chance because the people have to know, and nothing about it is performative. I think that I commend the people who truly do go out there and basically archive these moments for us, this time in history, because we're gonna have to know. And what my hope is for future generations, not to go on for too long, but my hope for future generations is that they're better than us, that they actually learn from the past, that they look to the past to see the future so that this shit may never happen again. Because I kid you not, in 1996 in 5th grade as a 10-year-old, I would not have thought that in 30 frigging years that this would be the United States of America. I wouldn't have thought that. I would never have guessed it. Like, we supposed to have flying cars and shit. We supposed to be like, just like living life. But no, here we are. We have people fighting for their lives every single day. And we have a government that is just unwilling to do the right thing. Just, why can't we just give people a pathway to citizenship? It would be that simple. Give them a pathway to citizenship. They only add to the economy. So yeah, so with that being said, guys, here's the dealio. All right. Thank you everyone for listening here today. We appreciate you all so very much here on the TikTok and over on the Tube. You all are fantastic. All right, let's make sure that we continue to do all of the good things, guys. Make sure that if you are over on TikTok enjoying the show, make sure that on both sides of the house, you are tapping the screen, sharing the live, also reposting and knocking out any goals that are posted there for you. Any of the gift goals. Also, and we thank you so much. Also, if you're over on the tube, make sure that you keep letting me know how the sound is going because I appreciate you so much. I am such a perfectionist that it's killing me that it's not working. So just let me know how it's going. Those who have my number can text me. It's cool. With that being said, make sure that you're commenting, you're sharing, you're doing all other good things. And if you'd like to support Hector and I and support the streams, links are in the bio, also in the description over on the tube. All right. And we want to let you know that we thank you for all that you do because everything is appreciated and everything is most definitely accepted. All right. And don't forget, Hector is Hector Talks. Hector Talks with 2 R's. All right. And I'm still everything with Erica. We appreciate y'all. Let's get back to the news.
6,000%. Real quick, just to add into your PSA, I feel like we have different bases to some degree. To some degree, like we have a base for lives and we have a base for videos. I'm trying to mix them all together. It's super important that when you see your favorite creators put out videos, especially those of us who are more familiar and regular with the live spaces, super duper important that you engage with the videos as well. Just as important. So Erica uploaded a great clip from the Fun and Fact show last weekend. It's fucking hilarious. I just put up one with an experience that Eric and I both had with a non-voter. So make sure we're engaging with that as well. Would greatly appreciate it. But yes, keep doing
all the good things.
All the things. I'm not saying good because they have to pay you.
Yes, you owe me $5 if you say it.
So I put in the Discord a hot take. Okay.
Hot take. Okay. Hot take.
And I'm going to show you guys the clip.
Hector, before we get into your hot take, we have to talk about Davos being evacuated. Like, what the heck is going on there?
Yes.
Okay. I had that pulled up here. Let me go ahead and get it. Here we go. Okay, so apparently Davos has been evacuated. I'm going to go ahead and refresh and see what we have. The evacuation is over. Okay, fantastic. They said that emergency crews were at the Economic Forum. And let's see here, that there was a fire at a nearby hotel. That's why. So it was a fire at a nearby hotel. So once again, Trump is safe. Shit.
Wish I had a oh, damn it. I was literally just going to pull up a sound effect. I was putting like womp 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 womp.
Shit.
Yeah.
Did you just was that a fart noise?
That was a sound. That was an effect.
Hector. Good grief. Some decorum, please, sir.
That's how I felt about your statement.
Oh, okay, that's fair. It's gonna be a brighter day. One of these days. He does. He has more lives than a cat. He definitely does have lives more than a cat. What's going on now?
Money makes you kind of invincible. There's that. But my hot take is going to be on Curtis Sliwa, okay? So Curtis Sliwa was a Republican who ran against Zohran Mamdani in the New York City mayoral race before Zohran Mamdani won. I watched the debates. I got a good feel of him. And don't get me wrong, he's a Republican. And let me be clear, I'm pretty fuck Republicans, right? But I still say it, and some people disagree, but I still say it. I think there is a difference between Republicans and MAGA. I think at the end of the day, I can never subscribe to Republican policies, but I would love to get back to a point in time where we can find the reasonable ones again, that we can actually engage in like debates and conversations with. So Curtis Sliwa was asked on his position when it comes to ICE, and I'm going to play it for you guys to see here. And let me start that over.
ICE in the city? ICE is already in the city. If they're going after gang members, drug dealers, narco terrorists, sex traffickers, absolutely. When they were revived, when Trump beat Harris, that's what they were doing initially. Yes. And then someone in Washington imposed a quota of 3,000 arrests a day. And I have some former guardian angels who are ICE agents who told me, Curtis, this pressure to make X number of collars a day is making us go after people who are lining up in a Home Depot parking lot for day labor, who are working in restaurants where they're vital, they're essential workers. Without them, you'll see a lot of restaurants close. I can guarantee you this, I got 3 sons. None of them are going to do that work.
Mr. Sliwa, would you allow ICE in the city?
ICE is already...
There we go. So, Sliwa has, in my opinion, been one of the few identifiable Republicans from a time where we didn't see them all as MAGA. He's criticized Trump. He's criticized some of his own base and some of the Republican policies. He's co-signed Democrats. So my hot take is that at the end of the day, Republicans are here. They're not going anywhere. This idea that we're ever going to have a Congress or that they don't exist or anything like that is ridiculous. So I feel, hear me out, y'all, Curtis Sliwa would be a fantastic Republican president. That is my opinion. I think he would be a great Republican president. Mind you, when he was up on the stage with Zoran Mamdani, here's the things that they both agree on. They said, we need to tax these billionaires. Sliwa ran more towards closing certain loopholes versus actually increasing the tax to the degree that Zoran Mamdani did. But he was like, yeah, the billionaires are destroying our city. We need to address them. I respect the hell out of that. He talked about better ways to affect crime. Granted, I do think he still has more of an aggressive stance. But hey, if it is a murderer, a rapist, so on and so forth, I care a little bit less. And his big thing is prioritizing them, focusing on the actual criminals. In fact, I would say his only disconnect is the belief that defunding the police pulled away from that. That's his only disconnect. He's had several other opinions that I just thought was like, this is a guy I can fuck with. This is literally like a moderate Democrat. This is the way that Obama talked. This is the way that Joe Biden talked in many ways. So I think if you had someone like Curtis Sliwa in the Republican Party running for some positions, we can see a better party on their side. Again, I'm not saying I agree with everything. I'm not saying he's a great person, but in terms of if you were to put up a really horrible Democrat versus Curtis Sliwa in a federal presidential election, I may vote for Sliwa. I'm not going to lie. I may vote for him. I'm unaware of his specific stances on like women's rights and stuff. I don't think he said anything too crazy. Y'all can let me know if I'm missing something. But that's my hot take. Curtis Sliwa is a fantastic Republican and the Republican that we need going forward versus the bastardization of the MAGA party now.
Okay. I don't know much about him, so I do not have a hot take on that. I do not have anything to say. All right, that's all you, Hector. That's all you. I got nothing.
I'll say he's the closest thing that we can get to like John McCain's and Mitch McConnell's. In some cases, he's better than them, particularly with this stance.
You say Mitch McConnell?
Yeah. No, fuck. I did say Mitch McConnell.
You meant Mitt Romney?
Mitt Romney, thank you.
Who would want Mitt Romney?
I actually liked 2 or 3 things from Mitt Romney. 2 or 3 things specifically.
He's
One,
a liar.
Republicans hate him now.
Because he's a liar.
So I feel like that's an indicator of some things.
He went along to go along. To get along.
That part is true. But I remember watching his debates where he was one of the few Republicans ever who actually had a good solution to undocumented migrants coming here, right? And I don't agree with this, but I'm saying Republicans just use it as a talking point. Mitt Romney said, okay, we're going to give everybody this particular ID with this particular badge. If you don't have this badge, you just don't work in any company. Any company that hires you via this will be fined. There will be a process that would disqualify you. So again, while I don't necessarily agree with that, that would have actually addressed the problem that Republicans talk about. Versus Trump and his administration goes, we want to get rid of these criminals and bad guys, but when it comes to our rich friends who are hiring them, who are incentivizing this behavior, who are underpaying them, like Trump did, straight up didn't pay them, we're not going to do anything about them. We're not actually going to address the root causes of undocumented migrant being overrepresented, they're not, in our workforce. So I appreciated Romney for at least having an actual solution to that. I know.
Okay, what's next? Oh, Lisa Cook. That's very important. Lisa Cook, ladies and gentlemen, is one of our Federal Reserve governors. Good gosh, that was a tongue twister for me for some reason. Is one of our Federal Reserve chair. Hector, help me, please.
She is a She's on the board of governors for the Federal
Thank
Reserve, not
you.
a
I
state
could
governor or
not say
anything like
board
that.
to save my life. I think because
It
board of
messed me up the
peace.
few times I had to talk about it. So yeah, that's
agreed.
fair.
But yeah, she's super smart. She's an amazingly educated and well studied and very, 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 very extremely like qualified woman that Donald Trump wants to see off of the board of governors over at the Federal Reserve. But here's the deal. All right, he's tried, and you know what? He's failing, which is fantastic. All right, because according to news reports, of course, this morning, after saying that she could keep her job while this was being heard, the Supreme Court has actually heard the case this morning. And of course, they will be making a ruling. And according to reports, it seems that the court is just a tad bit skeptical of the Trump administration and what the hell it is that they have going on here. All right, let's go ahead and cue this one up because what are we doing? This is definitely targeted, and it goes to show just how far the Trump administration is willing to go to get what it is that they want. And they want loyalists, all right, in positions of power, people who will do Donald Trump's bidding, who would do whatever it is that's needed for the Republican Party to advance their agenda. All right, this is Mrs. Cook. Okay, so the main part about this is that nearly all of the justices asked skeptical questions of Solicitor General D. John Sauer during roughly 2 hours of arguments, taking issue with most aspects of the government's case that the president had met the legal bar to remove Cook while a lawsuit challenging her removal plays out. Such unanimity is rare on high-profile cases for a deeply polarized court. Shout out to me for saying that word right. I said it right. I did say it right. Yep. So Justice Brett Kavanaugh said the Trump administration's position that it could remove Fed governors without judicial review or due process would weaken, if not shatter, the independence of the Federal Reserve. He predicted presidents of both parties could gin up reasons to remove governors under such a system with dangerous implications for a central bank that Congress created to operate independently. So what he said is it incentivizes a president to come up with trivial or inconsequential or old allegations that are very difficult to disprove, Kavanaugh said. It incentivizes sort of the search and destroy, no process, nothing, you're done. What are we doing when we have a system that incentives that? Incentives that? I think he used that.
Incentivizes.
But no, but it says incentives. He just said
Okay.
the word wrong. But that part, seriously, I don't necessarily agree with Kavanaugh ever, but that part, because of the simple fact is that if they allow this to be set as a precedent to just basically remove the Fed governors whenever they want, who's to say that, he won't try to do this with the remaining governors on the board? Just get them up out of there. And I'm going to put in people who, again, are loyal to me and my party. That's it. And they're going to do whatever it is that I want them to do. That would give him, what is it? That P word again, plenary control of the Federal Reserve. Because the Federal Reserve does not act as basically like a dictatorship. The chair does not have the unilateral authority to just veto a vote. They work in a democracy. They vote off of majority rules. So if it's 7 of them and they make their vote, then guess what? If it's 3 to 4 to reduce interest rates, then the interest rates get reduced. If it's, 4 to 3 to increase interest rates, then interest rates get increased. So, I mean, that's what happens.
And friendly reminder that every way that Donald Trump is trying to persecute Lisa Cook for her endeavors is exactly what he's done with his estates as well. Donald Trump is well known to have been, his literal felony charges, falsifying business records and mislabeling and manipulating certain listings in markets to give him favorable interest rates, to give him favorable deals, favorable loans, so on and so forth. And I do have an article here that I can do a brief overview of that. President Donald Trump branded one foe who did so, quote, deceitful and potentially criminal. He called another crooked on Truth Social and pushed the Attorney General to take action. But years earlier, Trump did the very thing he's accused his enemies of, records show. In 1993, Trump signed a mortgage for a Bermuda-style home in Palm Beach, Florida, pledging that it would be his principal residence. Just 7 weeks later, he got another mortgage for a 7-bedroom, marble-floored neighboring property, attesting that it too would be his principal residence. In reality, Trump, then a New Yorker, does not appear to have ever lived in either home, let alone use them as a principal residence. Instead, the two houses, which are next to his historic Mar-a-Lago estate, were used as investment properties and rented out, according to contemporaneous news accounts and an interview with his longtime real estate agent, exactly the sort of scenario his administration has pointed to as evidence of fraud. And I believe that is Paul Ramble that he was referencing. At the time of the purchase, Trump's local real estate agent told the Miami Herald that the businessman had hired an expensive New York design firm to dress them up to the nines and lease them out annually. In an interview, Shirley Weiner, the late real estate agent's wife and business partner who was herself later the rental agent for the two properties, told ProPublica they were rentals from the beginning. Weiner, who has worked with the Trump family for years, added, President Trump never lived there. So, it's only a bad thing if, quote, allegedly, black women do it. Out of all the people on the board, I just find it interesting how she was the one that was picked at.
I have to correct you, though. Adriana, she resigned in June or July of last year. I had to look up her exact name, but he targeted her first. She's a white woman.
Oh, okay.
He targeted her first, but what he had on her was actually true, so she resigned. So I'll pull that
I was
up.
about to say something so messy.
Oh, say it.
I was going to say, not surprised.
Just
Couldn't-
saying. Just saying. Yeah.
Just say it. I'm not surprised. I'm
Yeah.
not surprised at all.
So, yeah.
I do.
Yeah. So basically what she did, it was Adriana Kugler. These names, bruh. Kugler. All right. But I can say Shaniqua is just fine.
Wow.
So in her resignation, she did not give an exact reason for resigning, yet behind the scenes, it was disclosed in a ethics report that she had violated the ethic rules that prohibited trading of equities during the blackout period ahead of board meetings. So that's what she had did. So she resigned basically to save her own ass. Is what happened, because, and I walk my statement back. They didn't target her. She knew that she could become a target because
So she
because
just
of
didn't
that.
risk it.
Yeah. So she didn't want to risk it. So it was better of her to resign than to have them come after her. And then I guess they kept looking and they got Miss Cook, Governor Cook, I should say. And here we are. But she didn't do anything wrong. It was already proven on her mortgage records that she lists both properties correctly. She didn't list she didn't list two properties as a principal or as a primary residence. She always separated the two. So yeah, I have a video on the tube about this one, like, who gonna check me, boo? Because all of her paperwork is in order. Like, I's are dotted and T's are crossed. So that's why I'm like, why? How do the courts keep allowing these things to go as far as they do, is my question. Like, why isn't the Supreme Court just like, you know what? No. You know what I mean? Like, when this comes before them, why are they even willing to hear it? And it gives me pause. And the reason why I have pause is simply because this Supreme Court has made some very concerning rulings over the last year. Like choosing to hear, whether or not, people born within the jurisdiction therein of okay, are actually citizens. All right, people born to undocumented immigrants, are they citizens? Yes, they're citizens. If they were born in the United States, they're citizens. We've established this over 5 different cases since the late 1800s. Right? What else do we need to establish there? That makes me concerned. With the Voting Rights Act, with these new maps that they have allowed to go into place, like the one in Texas that the lower court judges said was definitely based off of race, that they cut it all up based off of race. And so, no, you can't put this map into place, but then the Supreme Court turns around and lets them do it because it's close to a primary. Be so fucking for real. You just let them get away with, all right, something that your court, the Supreme Court, said that you can't do. The Supreme Court is the one that said that you cannot redistrict a map based on race, but you can do it based off a party. So you just went against your own words. That gives me pause with these people. I don't know. They may seem skeptical, just like they were skeptical about those darn tariffs that they haven't ruled on yet, and they were supposed to rule on that about a week ago, if you recall.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they going to do with this Lisa Cook case? Are they going to just keep us waiting? Or are they just going to show their hand and do exactly what we think that they're going to do, rule in his favor because they're bought and paid for?
And you talked about this in depth. I don't remember the name of the case, but I know it's one of those
Louisiana
red
versus
states.
Calais.
Yes.
Mhm.
Didn't we start hearings for that, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, the hearings for that is already finished. They finished those in October. So the hearings are finished. They have to make a ruling for it, and the ruling they won't make until, people are saying, late spring, early summer, so like around June. We won't hear anything about that one. But the way in which they're going with places like they allowed Texas to put their map into place. They also allowed California to do their map. And but California's wasn't based off of race.
Right.
That was purely partisan. But we also have Missouri, who has to be heard, and we have North Carolina too that has to be heard. I think there's one more state. I believe it's going to be Utah.
Yes.
But
Yes.
yeah, so they have to hear those, and then we'll just have to see what happens. But if they take away Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, I mean, I say this all the time, we'll still have our right to vote, but we will literally have no protections whatsoever. None. They'll be able to chop and screw up these maps any which way they want to. Like, we won't have any, when I say we, I mean us Black people, we won't have any type of representation, especially in states that are known to do gerrymandering. So states in the South, we won't have anything. And then now it's starting to really be states in the Midwest too. So here we go.
They're not playing, but they have a very, very strict agenda. I'm still debating doing this.
But I wanted to
Um,
go over one more thing about Lisa Cook before we moved on.
yeah. Yeah, I was just gonna make a comment. It was just about I'm still debating doing Project 2025 reading lives, but go ahead.
No, let's do it. Let's go. So the other day, just real quick, you know how I am. I just got excited. Oh my God. Okay, so the other day, Liv was here. Liv was on my live, and he basically referenced an exact page of Project 2025. I can't recall the page at this very moment, but it laid out what they want to do in South America, especially in places like Venezuela. And then also it discussed what they want to do in Mexico. And the thing that they want to do in Mexico is very, very concerning because they're going to blame it all on the cartels. They're going to invade Mexico and say we're doing this because President Sheinbaum doesn't want to cooperate with us with the cartels, right? And so I'm like, that's concerning. Like, I think we really, really need to like read this so people can understand, like they can know. So I'm down. I'll read. I will read.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. And then someone just brought up Project 2026 as well, which I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even touched.
Oh, Project
So
Esther?
I'm not sure what that's in. Is that what it's called?
Is it Project Esther?
Isn't Esther different from Project 2026?
They have a Project 2026. I feel like
They have
I'm
a
learning
Project
something new every
2026.
single day here.
Let's see. Yeah, they're separate.
Um,
They're separate.
if I recall what the political scientists said, the Project 2025 is the what, and Project Esther is the how. And they said that the what is actually more important than the how. So what it is they want to do versus how they're going to do it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I hope I got that right. If I recall it correctly. But I do think it's really important. I mean, I read over Project 2025 before, but I've never read it page by page by page. All
Me
right.
neither.
So I mean, there's that. But I think that would be pretty cool to do, just to keep people informed, and then like kind of like read a few pages and then give like some opinion on it, and then continue on and go from there. It's going to be page
Um,
184, by the way. 184
Thank you for that. Page 184.
about
Check your Discord
Venezuela. Will do.
about Venezuela. Okay. So I did have. Wait, hold on. Who's going next?
Oh, I want to do the thing about Lisa Cook really quick, and then I can check the
Gotcha.
Discord. Give me
Okay.
2 seconds. I already had it queued up, but then I'd be losing stuff. There we go. Put it down here for some reason. Okay. Make sure I have the right one. Boom, boom, boom.
I do
So,
miss.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So, in regards to Lisa Cook and the 2-hour oral arguments that they heard this morning, all right, Justice Sonia Sotomayor, all right, shout out to her, because shout out to her. That's all I got. She said that this whole case isn't regular. She called it out. She just literally called it out. And she said that, what else did she say about it? Is that they have concerns about his True Social posts, is what they have a concern about. And basically how he served her notice of termination, her notice of termination via a social media post, via True Social. Because like, if you guys do recall, back in August of last year, he did post this letter basically firing her. And she was like, he can't fire me he can't do that. And she's right. He really can't do this. It doesn't make any sense. But that's what this silly pants man did. If Donald Trump don't have nothing, he definitely has the hubris of a white man. He really thinks that he is smarter than everyone in the room. All right, especially women, and even more so black women. But he gonna learn. He gonna learn. That's all I got. He gonna learn. So anywho, but that was their thing, Hector. That they're extremely like concerned about this, very skeptical, kind of scolded, how sour about it. So I mean, there's that. But yeah, it's pretty cool, huh? Like how the justices are actually asking all these questions and trying to hold their feet to the fire. And then, in about 3 weeks or a month, they're just going to side with the Trump administration.
Literally, it's what we said. I get annoyed talking about this. It's the lack of consistency for me. And the fact that they can be as inconsistent as they want, and then no one's there to check them. Who checks? But you know what? Maybe we need a bill introduced in Congress. I don't know. We'll call it. I don't know what the fuck we're gonna call it, but we need someone to check the Supreme Court. Like we need more checks and balances. This administration has shown that our checks and balances fucking suck.
Exactly.
They actually fucking suck. Like people are. It's bad when Trump supporters say, "Oh, the stuff you guys say is fear mongering. We have checks and balances for that," which is crazy to me. I never had to defend Kamala Harris by saying Kamala Harris can never do this egregious thing that she said she was going to do. There's checks and balances, because she never said anything that would require me to mention the checks and balances. With them, they go, checks and balances is going to stop Trump from doing this outrageous thing that he said, and I'm still going to vote for him.
Yeah,
no.
no. And one more thing about this one is that Justice Brown Jackson, shout out to her, shout out to her. This part right here is very important. I just want to read it because it really does like solidify the absurdity of it all. All right, so as mentioned, Donald Trump basically served her a notice of termination via social media. All right, and so Solicitor General Sauer basically argued that Governor Cook did receive notice and she had time to respond to the social media post. He basically argued that the post about firing Cook for mortgage fraud and screenshots of alleged evidence posted online gave her the 5-day period to respond. That's what Sauer argued, right? So Sauer said that the administration did follow the legal process and had given Cook sufficient opportunity to state her case in public. So Justice Brown asked facetiously if Cook's own public presentation was to be a social media post. So basically, she asked him, like, could she respond via social media? This fool said yes.
What?
Said yes. What are we doing here? What kind of circus? Like what kind of crackerjack circus are we dealing with? Like this administration is not well. They're unwell. This is not okay. But that's what we have going on here, Hector. She could have responded via social media too. It would have been just okay. No, it wouldn't have. I'm pretty sure they would have argued that she never responded. We didn't see the post. That's what it would. We didn't see the post. I'm convinced, Hector. Y'all say that the world ended in 2020. That shit ended in 2012, yo. December of 2012, the world ended, and we haven't been right since 2012.
We've all been in a simulation.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
This is somebody's really fucked up dream, guys. Everything ended in 2012. The rest of this has been someone's fucked up dream.
Yep. Whose I don't know, but I just want them to wake the fuck up. Seriously. Bruh.
There's stupid, and then there's cartoonishly stupid.
This is cartoonishly stupid.
That even may be an understatement.
Real bad.
Like what?
Just real bad.
Oh my god.
It's so. Like I don't know, but I know you had another one. What's going on over there?
Yes. Trump had some words for Canada. Trump responds to Carney. Canada lives because of the United States. President Trump said in Davos, everything goes back to Davos, on Wednesday that Canada should be grateful to the U.S. for the freebies it receives because of the two nations' relationship. Trump's dig at Canada came a day after Prime Minister Mark Carney delivered his own warning that the World Economic Forum over the rupture of the world order. Canada lives because of the United States, Trump said Wednesday before taking a direct jab at Carney. Remember that, Mark, next time you make your statements. Trump said Carney wasn't so grateful in his address. Carney avoided naming Trump in his speech, a strategy the Canadian official previously told Axios was deliberate. However, the official indicated that Carney's remarks were aimed squarely at the president's recent actions. I just think it's diabolical that we're now going, you wouldn't be anything without me. This literally just sounds like an abusive relationship. Like you just have that partner that's just like a complete piece of shit. So they're just like, oh, you wouldn't be nothing without me. See what happens without me, blah, blah, blah. That's Trump. It's whiny. Yeah. It's insecure. It's ties of a bully.
He's a narcissist.
Quite frankly, is embarrassing.
Yes, he's a narcissist. Look at me. No, you cannot not look at me. Look at me. I must be the center of attention. Everything good that happens to you is because of me. All right. And if you don't have me, nothing good happens to you. He's a narc.
Hold on. Because I got to see.
They should gray wall him. Is it gray walling? Yeah. They should gray wall him.
Okay.
Gray rock. Gray rock is what it's called.
Yes.
I knew it. Close enough.
It's while I don't appreciate Biden's quietness on his administration's accomplishments. I do think it was a detriment, and that's why so many people were allowed to believe that the Biden administration was so horrible. I get why. Like, I couldn't imagine having someone like this. Well, I don't have to imagine, it's our reality. Just talking all the damn time and just boasting all the damn time about nothing, mind you. It'd be one thing if he was actually doing the things he said he was doing. Because one thing about me, if you strut your stuff and you're good at what you do, you can brag all you want. It may be annoying, but you have the substance to back it up. There's no substance with this administration. None.
None whatsoever.
None. But the last story I want to go over, and this is fucking huge. This goes into what I mentioned earlier on the fact that I really hate being right. When I'm right, it's typically not great. Erica really hates it, I imagine, because we keep telling these people this is going to happen and this was the real reason, so on and so forth, and they lie to our faces. So, Doge employee shared Social Security data. Court filing shows. Not an allegation, not a theory. This was assessed in court. Employees with the Department of Government Efficiency who were detailed to the Social Security Administration last March shared sensitive data through a non-secure third-party server in violation of agency security policies, the Justice Department disclosed in a court filing. The Social Security Administration does not know what data was shared on the server or whether it still exists there. The Justice Department said in the January 16 formal correction to statements that Social Security Administration officials made to a federal court in Maryland last spring. But the disclosure about the third-party server confirms concerns among career government employees and data security experts that Doge's chaotic access to sensitive government data risk sharing this data broadly and without knowing what data was exposed or who has seen it. Last August, the social... Yes.
Before you continue. I know some of my peers don't like doing it, but I do. I enjoy it a lot. I love being a Black woman in hindsight. Told you. I ain't gonna say I told you, but I told you so. Matter of fact, I am gonna say I told you so. I told you so. All right. We all tried to tell you so. The fuck? We literally tried to tell you that, hey, you don't want these people having access to our information because we do not know what they're going to do with it. What if they share our information, okay, with people who shouldn't have it? They're not going to keep it secure. And here we are. But we were fear-mongering. Remember, Hector? That was just fear-mongering. Okay, all right, got it.
We were fear-mongering. We were making it up. We were trying to radicalize people so that we can, I don't know, transgender for everyone, whatever the fuck these people believe now. Last August, the Social Security Administration's chief data officer, shortly before resigning, he resigned, filed a whistleblower complaint over Doge's employee activities, saying they had shared a crucial database on a private server. Crazy that this happened in August, and I do not recall this being blasted anywhere. The Justice Department's filings addresses the period last March at the height of the conflict between career Social Security officials and Doge over the sharing of sensitive information. The Justice Department's corrections to the record identified sworn statements that senior agency officials made asserting that the agency revoked Doge employees' access to sensitive data. Statements to the department later found to be false, though federal lawyers said the officials did not know they were false at the time. According to the Justice Department, the inconsistencies were revealed through an internal agency review last fall. The agency notified Justice Department lawyers about its findings on December 10th. The department filed corrections on the court more than a month later. The Social Security Administration did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So, y'all, where was the information shared to? Who was it shared to? What are they going to do with it? Do we need to have a quote-unquote recall of selective American Social Security because it's now out there for anyone to find because we decided to let the world's richest man and a bunch of young twats get sensitive access to our information that they should have never had authorization to begin with? Did it not alarm anyone when government officials couldn't walk into their place of work because they were locked the fuck out? by Doge boys, this is the results of those actions. Notice Republicans don't even talk about that anymore. We were the only ones who were. I don't ever remember there being an actual answer or justification for that. It was just, hey, we did this. We're trying to make the world better. Absolutely insane. So, congratulations, Americans. Your Social Security may be compromised because of Trump and Elon. And they're not even on speaking terms anymore. So, yay.
Bruh.
Hate it here.
Bruh.
Every day.
Bruh. What are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? Like, really?
And then he can scapegoat his way out of this. He can just go, oh, well, that was Elon. That was this. That was that, right? We didn't know. We did it for this and they did this. He will not be held accountable for this.
I got more breaking news.
Of course you do. Fucking Wednesdays.
Fucking Wednesdays, bro. I have so much stuff that I want to go over. I know what my next video is going to be. I really got to dig deep into this border peace thing because this isn't something that's new. This isn't something that he just brought up this month. This shit goes back to like last year. It goes back to last year. Just learned that like the UN actually endorsed it via resolution 2803. It was basically them agreeing to basically give, because they took it in good faith, that this was simply just for Donald Trump to create this board of countries to help rebuild Gaza, right? The UN, the United Nations, right? That's how it was presented to them. But of course, Donald Trump did the bait and switch, and here we are, where this dude is pretty much trying to create a board that's gonna supersede the United Nations. Yeah, because it didn't say anything about them being able to sign treaties or anything of that nature. No, this was just simply about them trying to rebuild Gaza. But now it's completely different. Now there's $1 billion entry fee. Oh, I hate it here. I hate it here.
You and me both.
Yeah. And like he basically lied to the UN. And again, I can't say it enough. So they discussed the efforts to just rebuild Gaza. Is now changed into maintaining a ceasefire in Gaza. And then also is giving them this power to act sort of kind of it's giving Trump pretty much the power as the chairman to act as the world's police, pretty much, with the charter. So this is something that I'm going to have to spend the rest of the day looking into so I can do I want to do something with this information. But in other news, I do suggest everyone look up what gray rocking is. It is a tactic to basically counteract narcissists. All right. You can use it to deal with abusive and manipulative behavior. Don't respond. Pretty much become a fucking rock. Don't respond to what it is that they're giving. All right. Like if you don't give them anything to feed off of, that narcissistic person, if you don't feed that energy and you don't give them a response, then guess what ends up happening? They move on. Unfortunately, they typically find another target, but they move on. So yeah. So a person I think that we should gray rock is going to be David Medina out of Oregon. David Medina is an interesting fella. David Medina, I just like saying his name for some reason or another, is running for governor of Oregon. Yes. He's running for governor of Oregon. And do you want to know something interesting about him, Hector?
What?
He's a January 6er. Yep.
Anyone with any affiliations with... I need to get in Congress.
I was thinking
anyone with
about
any
that.
affiliations with January 6th, and I mean fucking any, should not be allowed to do anything in regards to our government. Nothing. Not a fucking thing. Why the fuck are these people allowed to get so close?
Exactly.
We do not take this shit seriously enough.
We don't. Everything's a fucking joke. That's why. Like everything's ha ha he he. I'm going to make a post about it and I'm going to laugh and put up a silly meme. Ha 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 ha. No, seriously, what the fuck are we doing here? What are we doing?
The fuck are we doing here, y'all?
Hey, he should not be able to run. So here's the thing about him is I'm going to pull it on the screen here, is that he was charged with a felony and a few different misdemeanors. But he wasn't convicted. That's the thing. He was not convicted, but it is clear as fuck that he was there. This is him. Literally, this is him. He was at January 6th.
The receipts.
Yeah, he was there. The felony in which he was charged with was he destroyed the Speaker of the House sign right here. He destroyed this sign. All right, this is the new one, but he destroyed this one. That's why they have a new one. Well, had a new one. The current one now says, never mind, I have to say his name, Mike Johnson. But yeah, but he was there, guys, and he is running. He has a pretty decent size following on both IG and FB. Let me see here. Yeah, so they said he has 250,000 followers on Instagram and about 100,000 on Facebook. So he has a good following. There's that. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Oregon, just do the right thing. And don't fucking vote for him. Why would you want a January 6er as your governor? Can you imagine the shit that he's going to allow to happen in that state? How he would let big government run rampant?
Openly advocating for people who don't acknowledge the truth.
Yeah. He doesn't have a shot at hell, I hope. That's the thing.
You know,
nothing seems like right. So he might have a shot.
That is literally what I was just going to say. I cannot confidently say in so many of these cases with their side, even if I can confidently say, oh, they're not actually going to win, the votes that they get will still surprise me.
Exactly.
The votes that they get will still because this is going to be over time, right? Where we can say maybe 2000, this person would have got 10. 2010, they would have gotten 50. 2020 would have gotten 1,000. 2026, they could get 15,000. Over time, this nonsense just becomes more acceptable with a particular base. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's ridiculous.
I
don't know, Hector. This shit crazy. That's all I ever have to say about this stuff for the most part is that this shit is crazy. I don't know. But in more news out of ICE, fuck them. Let me go ahead and pull it up on AP for us all here. ICE basically, there's a memo that they are basically asserting sweeping power to go into people's homes without a warrant, which is something that I've been talking about a whole hell of a lot lately, because in order to enter someone's home, okay, to do a search and a seizure, you need to have a judicial warrant. It has to be signed by a judge or a magistrate. It has to be. What ICE uses is called an ICE warrant, or is also known as an administrative warrant. The administrative warrant does not allow for search and seizure unless a person at the residence, regardless of if they live there or not, as long as they're 18 years or older, they can go ahead, all right, and enter the home. So an internal memo is saying that they basically are using administrative warrants to do so. I want to go ahead and read from this, and then I want to look into something else. It just keeps rolling. It does not stop. It keeps going. Okay, so federal immigration officers are asserting sweeping power to forcibly enter people's homes without a judge's warrant, according to an internal immigration and customs enforcement memo obtained by the AP. marking a sharp reversal of longstanding guidance meant to respect constitutional limits on government searches, because this is a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment, all right, is your right to legal search and seizure, okay? All right, they cannot illegally search you or seize your property. So there's that. Fourth Amendment. Again, when we say that the Trump administration is usurping the authority and the validity of the Constitution of the United States of America, this is not fear-mongering. We see it playing out in our eyes. And when people make excuses of, well, they're illegal, I think that is absolute bullshit. That is absolutely bullshit. It's extremely elementary. And I think that these are people who simply just want to lick boots. That's as eloquently as I'm going to put it.
At least ask for some maple on it or something. Y'all just be licking raw sand and dirt and shit and cow piss, and you'll keep doing it again and again.
Exactly. And then another thing, Hector, is that not only are they licking the boots, right? But it's like they don't understand that that boot will soon be up their ass. Because if you think that they just want to do these types of things to people that they suspect are undocumented, just you wait until they're doing these things to American citizens. I am tired of telling people to believe poop stinks. It smells really, 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 really bad, guys. It's awful.
Rancid.
You shouldn't have to have it in your face, up your nose, in order for you to smell it. You should be able to smell it from 10 miles away, if not 100. Shit. But here we are. Here. But yeah, let's see. The memo authorizes ICE officers to use force to enter a residence based solely on a more narrow administrative warrant to arrest someone with a final order of removal, a move that advocates say collides with Fourth Amendment protections and upends years of advice given to immigrant communities. The shift comes as the Trump administration dramatically expands immigration arrests nationwide, deploying thousands of officers under a mass deportation campaign that is already reshaping enforcement tactics in cities such as Minneapolis. Yeah. It says here that the memo itself has not been widely shared within the agency, according to a whistleblower complaint, but its contents have been used to train new officers who are being deployed into cities and towns to implement the president's immigration crackdown. Hector, did we not say this last week?
Literally did.
Come on. And they prove it.
You have to find the clip.
Whose phone is that ringing? Is that yours?
Yeah. That, I don't...
But yeah, we said this last week. Literally. And I'm going to say literally because it's appropriate. Because I literally said it. I said, whoa, take that shit back. I literally said it. Go on, Hector, your thoughts, please. Be quiet.
Y'all gonna start listening to the 92 and 78%. Y'all gonna start listening to the 92 and 78%. That's really all I got. I don't know how much more I told you so's I got in me. I really don't.
Yep.
I really don't.
At this point, I'm high-key tired of being right.
Oh, I absolutely am. Because I'm right about some bullshit. I'm right about things that are harming people. I'm right about things that we've been repeating since 2020. We're about to be a year and a half in from November. And even longer from the summer, or closer from the summer, that we told everybody everything that's been happening since January. You might as well call me a fucking...
call him Negro Domus.
A psychic. Like, I don't like being right this much. I really don't. And this is not even exclusive to me. This is to us, a large group of us. We saw the writing on the wall. Better yet, we told Trump supporters exactly what Trump said out of his mouth, and they still turned it down. So
Whoa, the memo is real. They even have wording from it. So it says the memo signed by Acting Director of ICE, Todd Lyons, and dated May 12th of 2025 says, although the U.S. Department of Homeland Security has not historically relied on administrative warrants alone to arrest aliens subject to final orders of removal in their place of residence, the DHS Office of the General Counsel has recently determined that the U.S. Constitution, the Immigration and Nationality Act, and the immigration regulations do not prohibit relying on administrative warrants for this purpose. The memo, oh my God. Did you read that?
I heard it.
I'm sorry, you heard it. You're right. I read it. I read it and I heard it. And this part right here determined that the U.S. Constitution, the Immigration and Nationality Act, and the immigration regulations do not prohibit relying on administrative warrants for this purpose. They are going to try to argue that they can use ICE warrants to search people's property, to use not just force, but to enter people's property unlawfully. They're going to argue that they can do that. It's against, it's literally against the law. It's against the Supreme Court. What are we doing?
The video that we played last week on the show.
Uh-huh.
The video that you made.
Uh-huh.
Going over the difference between, by the way, guys, there is a video that Erica has on her profile where she goes over the difference between judicials and administrative warrants. If anyone you want that information, go check out that video. But the video that you made on that, none of it matters to these people.
None whatsoever. I want to read the Fourth Amendment. I'm so sorry, Hector. What was that?
No, I was just gonna say I'm just ready for 2028. I'm ready to see who the candidate is, and I swear to God, the foundations of his campaign better be we are prosecuting the fuck out of everyone we can from this administration.
Fucking better. They better. So the Fourth Amendment, y'all. All right. The Fourth Amendment says the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable search and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. It is clear as friggin' day.
Something happened with your sound. Okay. Clear as freaking day. I don't know how you argue around that. These people know how to read. They know exactly what they're reading. They just don't care. That's what it is. They don't care. They don't care. And it could be any one of us. To everyone going, oh, only the undocumented migrants have to be worried? No.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry, y'all. I live near an Air Force base, so that happened. There's that. Anywho, moving on. But no, seriously, it's clear as friggin' day that you have to have a warrant that actually allows for search and seizure. I already think that is too far with the administrative warrant, that it simply just takes one person over the age of 18, all right, saying, yeah, sure, come on in. No, I think that it needs to be the person who actually lives there. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not even going to argue that. But you can't just go into someone's home. And then it says that they're being trained to use force to go into the person's home. And probable cause, that's another thing that I was reading about, the probable cause part of it, right? They're going to lie. They're going to lie. They're going to lie and tell us stories about how they heard a child crying. They're going to lie and tell us stories about how they observed someone doing something illegal. They're going to lie and say that they heard fighting. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. And that's not even crazy. The expected thing is that these smooth-brained individuals are going to believe it and justify it. When do you stop justifying cruelty? When do you stop justifying breaking the law? They're fucking hypocrites.
The biggest. My final thing that I just had to add really quickly, and it won't take long. The House Oversight Committee did vote bipartisanly to pursue criminal charges or criminal referrals to the Justice Department for charges on Hillary and Bill Clinton.
Criminal
More
charges?
so, yes. They're holding them in contempt. This will be referred to the Justice Department to do contempt charges. That can carry penalties, including a fine of up to $100,000 in imprisonment for as long as a year. But the full House would now have to vote on this for that to take place. So there's more steps, but this is just the vote to put it out on the floor to do so. 9 Democrats went with Republicans to do Bill Clinton. Only 3 did it with Hillary. Many Democrats said that it was completely fucking unnecessary, considering that Bill Clinton offered to be interviewed under oath by Mr. Comer. So there's that. Again, my position on this is like, I don't care who they are. I don't give a fuck about the Clintons. If they're guilty, they're guilty. But at the same time, the fact that we are hyper focusing on those 2 people individually and just ignoring everyone else, including the sitting fucking president for these testimonies under oath, is ridiculous. Meanwhile, once again, all the information that we have is currently sitting in a folder or file on Pam Bondi's desk or otherwise, redacted to hell. So this is a monumental waste of time. Because if you think Bill and Hillary Clinton are lying, they're just going to continue to lie. How about we unredact the truth?
Yeah. Didn't a court just grant them the authority sometime last week to basically keep the file sealed? Like to not release the file, something to that effect?
Yes, I didn't fully read that, but if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was. The last I checked, it was an attempt to go, hey, we don't have to show anything else, but I'm not sure if it actually went through. So, GOP behavior, y'all. GOP behavior.
Wow.
I hate it here
Everyone does.
every day.
Well, except for the people who have been brainwashed. They love it here. They think that this is the greatest place on earth. This shit sucks.
For now. That's what I'm going to say. For now.
Oh, his healthcare plan that was released, the Great American Healthcare Plan, I believe it's called. This is stupid as hell. Ain't that a great name? No, you don't think so?
So it's not Chump RX now?
No, Trump RX is a prescription part of it. We're talking about the healthcare plan itself.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
the great healthcare plan. How original. How moving.
Yeah. One of the things that it does is that I do know, I recall, because I was looking to it, is that it's going to take a lot of prescription drugs that we use now and change them to over the counter because he wants to make the access to them easier. But guess what happens with over the counter medications?
Wow.
You pay the price for them because they're not covered by insurance. So you pay whatever that sticker price is at the store. You can't use GoodRx to bring that price down for an OTC. The price is going to go up.
No coupons?
You can get a coupon, but you can't use GoodRx because you're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to get a coupon like that from the maker. So no, you can't do it. It's going to be expensive as a bad word. So people be prepared for that. But you know what? He's not giving the money directly to the insurance companies. Kiss my ass. Like, be so friggin' for real. Like, be for real. I don't know my problem is that people get upset with like people using the subsidies, right? Using the subsidies to afford the marketplace insurance. But yet they're not upset at the darn going insurers for basically charging these premiums. They're not upset at the fact that we have such high inflation in the United States of America over the last 20 years, okay, that a friggin' policy has to cost $1,000 a year.
Exactly.
And that people have to have $5,000 deductibles. All right, people are not understanding that the cost of everything has gone up. Literally, it has gone up. So everything is costing more. Okay, and you wouldn't be feeling it. You wouldn't be feeling it that great if for the last 20 years, all right, our wages were outpacing inflation. But that hasn't always been the case. That's only been recently for like the past few years have real wages outpaced inflation. So there's that. I think it's since about maybe 2023. So here we are. You wouldn't be feeling it so hard.
Like I said, when these accounts go into play and these Americans are given these checks to go buy their own health care, as if anything stopped them from doing that before, and we see that the government is just finding a different way to subsidize the same fucking companies, and then prices do not go down, I'm going to laugh. I'm going to feel bad for all the people that I know need some of these medications and stuff, and then I'm going to laugh because the only candidate who had a solution to bringing down these costs, or at least prosecuting the corporations who will charge you out the wazoo, was Kamala Harris with a federal price gouging ban.
Yep, that part.
And we know under the Biden-Harris administration, they actually worked particularly with under Medicaid to reduce the cost of several life-saving subscriptions and inhalers, capping those prices to $35 for insulin and inhalers. And Trump has just got tariffs.
Tariffs fix every freaking thing. Here's one more thing, and then we can call it. Another thing about it's the great healthcare. Let me make sure I get it exact. The great healthcare plan. Stupid, just stupid. But that's the correct name for it, the great healthcare plan. One of the things that they want to do is have price transparency. And what that will do is that's going to force hospitals that accept Medicaid and Medicare, they must post their prices and fees. All right, where it's viewable, is easily accessible. You go in, you see it. And they're doing this because they want people to be able to shop for coverage or whatever. They want them to shop for care, which I think is wicked. It's just wicked. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So in the event of an emergency, are you gonna read the price? You know how with food, they now have it so where they have the calories and nutritional information, nutritional facts on it. It's basically like that, but for health insurance, like providers. And so they want you to be able to shop, I guess, for the cheapest. But if in the event of an emergency, I'm not going to go to hospital 1 and look at their price sheet and then go to hospital 2 and be like, you know what? Hospital 1 is charging $300 for a Tylenol and hospital 2 is charging $298. Let me go see what hospital 3 is. Oh no, hospital 3 is charging $400. What the fuck are we doing?
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But people are going to say that this is a great one. And I'm just, Hector, I think I'm tired of dealing with cognitive dissonance.
You and me both.
I get this. Okay, we'll have this conversation on the back end. But bro, yeah. So with that being said, you got anything else?
I will be live after this ends in a couple minutes. I just need to go take care of 1 or 2 things. So those of you who wanted to come back for some debates, and I see a particular fucktwad in the comments, you may come back in a couple of minutes. I'm just gonna go throw something in my stomach, use the bathroom, and then I'll be back live for those of you who wanted that. But other than that, guys, Wednesday news.
How long would it take you?
10-15 minutes.
Oh yeah, I can't do it then. I was gonna say I'll stay live. No, I won't.
No.
No,
It'll be all right. Yeah. just do a restart. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, we're here every single Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. CST. She'll go over all the other zones. I just know my own. Roughly 1:30 p.m. CST to bring you the news exactly how it's relayed to us, exactly how it's put out to the public. And there's so much more. As always, there's so much more. But we do not have the time. Is that a doc?
Yeah, that was Bubba.
Yeah.
He be knocking like the police. Coming in. Hold on one moment.
All good. So yes, those of you who are not following us, I am Hector Talks, and this is Erica Shante. Again, we are live every single Wednesday. Yes.
Oh, okay. I gotta say some nice things. Thank you all so very much again for tuning in. As Hector was saying, what a fantastic show. It was a lot of news, a lot of breaking news. Shout out to Phil for the 2. I did check. Also, thank you to Estelle for the $3. I did hear about that story. I did, and she only did get 3 years. It's absolutely tragic, but just endemic of the racism that permeates this country. But thank you so much for that, Estelle. And also shout out to Feisty for the 10 for doing all the good things. Thank you, Feisty. Also shout out to Feisty over on the Tube for the sending out the 5 memberships. To everyone who did receive a membership from Feisty, make sure you said thank you. So thank you so very much, Feisty. You're the absolute best. And shout out to... What are we doing? Shout out to, I saw some more here, to Sean. Hi, Sean. Sean sent a $10 super chat and said, we really do not need to be stuck in a cycle of Poop Head of the Month award. Yeah, we are. It's just gross. They have increasingly been losing their minds since Goldwater. It's an unmistakable trend. I see no end. I hope there's an end to it, Sean. I can only keep hope alive, friend. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you. Also, let me see here. There was another one I saw. Shout out to Joshi for the $10 super chat. Joshi said, let's see. I know we passed a bill unanimously to release the files, but instead, let's make the Clintons testify instead of just releasing the truth we agreed to release. Clowns. Joshi, no one could have said it better. No one could have said it better. 1,000%. Yes, that is absolutely the truth. Absolutely the truth. My goodness. Show some love, guys. Drop some hearts in the chat because that is absolutely true. Thank you all so very much for that. Thank you all so much. My goodness. Hector, you have anything?
Yes, just one shout out to Feisty for the $10 Venmo audio work. We know, Feisty, we know. We're gonna get it sorted out after we're done here. We're gonna get it sorted out. WCU Feisty, thank you so much. Guys, I went to bed 2 nights ago with like 300 some followers on Instagram, and I have like 4,000 now. So it's crazy. Oh
my God, that's so awesome. I'm so happy for you.
Video has over 100,000 views. So
oh my God.
W's, we're gonna get that on the road to monetization. Super excited about that. But yeah, those of you who are here, once again, I've been talking about for the longest that my Instagram is tripping or was tripping. Everyone who's on here, and I have 41.767K people here, should make sure that you're following me on the Instagram, Hector Talks with 2 R's. Hector Talks with 2 R's. So make sure that you go over there and you do that. But always, just in general, Erica also has other social media platforms. Make sure that you're subscribed and following her on all of them as well. What we're trying to do here, we're trying to do everywhere. And it helps when we have more reach on different platforms. So favorite creators have links in their bio, best ways to support them, and getting them on the other social media platforms. So make sure we do all of that. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. It has been a blast.
What
news
a day.
is going to be news, and there's going to be more as the day goes on. But, we're going to do our best to keep it covered, whether it's in this show or in our regular lives or in the videos that we put out.
Yep. So I'm going to go do research on this board of peace. So that's my duty for the day, and to do some TikTok thoughting. Hector will be live in no more than 20, 30 minutes top. So be on the lookout for that notification. Thank you all so very much for joining us for this episode of the Fun and Fact Show. I'm Erica Shante, and this is Hector Talks. I got you. And this is Hector Talks. All right. I'm the fun and
I'm the facts.
yay, we did it. All right. Bye, guys.
I'll catch y'all later. See you in a bit.